And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Panzer Corps 2, in what will be probably the last part of Across the Mississippi. Recover our planes when we got rain. How do I want to do this? So you should obviously recover. At this point, it's probably not worth even trying to retain what veterans you have left. We'll just do regular reinforcement. Okay, we drive up, we delete you. Drive forward. Take that shot. Drive you forward. We take that shot. That reveals an American airfield. We will take the American airfield. That might actually cause some of the American planes to crash. There we go. Circled the garrison of Dallas. I think it will mostly just work on advancing very rapidly, rather than actual destruction units this turn. Looks like what we're going to have. You can get rid of the U.S. infantry in your face. There we go, got them surrendered. See if we can get rid of the 105 here. Yeah. That might be enough to get them to surrender. Let's not work with might bees. Take the American airfield. Again, if we get lucky, that might actually cause some of the Americans to crash with no airfield to return to, and it being inappropriate weather for them to rebase. I feel like there's someone gonna be in that airfield. Let's only run up next to it. Missed my opportunity to seize the airfield. I'm not gonna do your cheeky backspace redo. You could do that if you were playing. I found that a little bit too gamey. A little bit too exploity. Okay, if that routes them, they surrender. It doesn't, so... although they'll basically be suppressed to max at this point. Okay, I think we'll roll through... If everything goes according to plan, everything will roll pretty quickly through what's left. Allied turn to deal with the rain. Didn't hear any... So, none of the Allied forces did crash. Most of them are probably at the garrisoned air bases down... Or the bunkered air bases down south. Strong points down here. Oh no, I just lost one of my most veteran scout. The shame, the pain. Perfect veterancy scout lost. Okay. That's the artillery dealt with. And apparently more American armor has come out of the woodworks, so... I am not high and dry. Although we are going to get to shoot down one of the American P-51s. It's taking 2 attacks, I was hoping to only take 1. Okay. And glimmers of hope that this would be a quicker part, and those glimmers are dying. Cold death with the Allied armor down south. I think the North's gonna have to come down to help the South at this rate. Oh, that's a P-51. It's a P-51 that's about to be very dead. Whoops. Wrong vehicle. Thought that was the artillery I'd moved. I moved that so I could move the artillery to do the shot. Yeah, let's not just take a six swing at ourselves. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not that desperate to take the Americans down that quickly. Okay, so all the American airfields are down south. So as these guys roll over what remains of the resistance, they will run to the Americans without airfields. I lost something over the end turn. Oh, it was the armored car. Of course I lost my armored car. I should replace the armored car. It's maybe not going to get much experience this battle, but we'll at least get it replaced. Do I just start attacking? No, with that combat odds, we want some more suppression. Let's just give it a moment. They'll attack us, expose themselves a little bit. The armored state down here is a little worrisome. So much American armor. So many American planes. You gotta worry when the American planes attack your AA. Just like, yep, nope, not a concern. Oh, that's not good. We let our 88 get... Well, we didn't exactly let it. There's just so many armor vehicles that it's hard to protect everything. I have one of the... Yeah, we had one of the Vera infantry get destroyed as well. There's a super heavy. That's going to be hard to deal with. Okay, you've surrendered. Use you to block the tank weapons coming down. You need to heal. Over there. push the Stug onto the river. That's technically not a very safe place for the Stug. I need to get around behind the airborne here, or just hit it with a lot of artillery, which we were busy dealing with Omaha with, let's say. Okay, so you can either strafe the Americans there, which isn't going to do much, or you can hit those guys. Hit those guys. Apparently there's even more 76s up there. Okay, go to the bunker. You heal. You need to heal. You probably kind of need to heal. Well, you over there as a body block. You move over there. Just realized I barely healed the Tiger too because I didn't have the heals. At that point, I probably should have held off, but too late. One of my guys getting circled. Well, kind of encircled him myself, which isn't great either. Yeah, just gotta resist the urge to rush up here. Fight around Dallas is not going well. Could be worse, but it could also be better. It's the Allied turn. Well, there goes one of our artillery pieces. Okay, it's AAU. Should get you low enough that the fighter should be able to finish you off. Okay, I'm gonna quick move you away. I'd like to be able to heal you and get you back into the fight, but that's not going to be anytime soon. Okay, working down south. Are you in strike range? You are. Almost can kill confirm. I think that kill, the attempt at kill confirming, I think here is going to be what's worthwhile doing. So try. Yeah, not quite enough to bring it down. Be able to deal with Wichita. The 2 infantry here should be enough to delay the AT guns from taking any objectives back, and then we just push the North Force down through Oklahoma into Dallas. It'll overwhelm what's left. Not super happy about the fact that I'm probably about to lose some of my very veteran tanks at this point, but and probably some more of the artillery. I'm going to lose a bunch of the Southern forces, what I think is about to happen. Okay. Next turn is a raining turn, which means they're going to get to do their air fight, and then the air fight's not going to be a thing next turn. Well, that's not good. We might have just lost a couple more planes. There goes one of our tanks, one of our high-efficiency tanks. And our 88. There goes our anti-air support. Anyway, we lost 2 planes. To be fair, it was probably pretty predictable. We had to lose those planes in hindsight. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a way to protect these artillery. I might literally just be better off just having them run. Run away! Yeah, in an ideal world, we'd be healing our aircraft, but I just don't have enough. We don't have enough prestige at this point. Haven't been doing a good enough job at capturing the enemy alive. Their turn. It's like most of their stuff is based out around Austin. What's left of it, at least. Okay. Cloudy day. Could be worse. It could be raining. Okay, them surrendered. You're not suppressed enough yet. Although you just do perfect efficiency pioneer here, just does enough damage and we just don't care. There goes the roadblock known as Oklahoma City. They'll have to take a turn to heal, of course, before they continue their advance. Let's get a protective grouping around our artillery here. Let them have that airfield back if they really want it back. Okay, let's rebase these guys. Slight risk here. And as I'm trying to get you to surrender this turn. No dice. No dice there. Okay, no dice. I think that's still... We'll see how the retaliation comes. Okay, allied turn. We've only got 2 objectives to go. And we are more than 10 turns ahead of schedule, so I would not be surprised if we get a decent prestige payout for finishing early. At the cost of, you know, losing far more units than I'm comfortable with. It's a good thing this is the second last mission, otherwise I'd be, real regret losing all those high frequency troops. Okay. Let's see if we can get these guys shot down. You're out of range, because of course you're out of range, and that means you're out of range. Yeah, just rebase these guys closer, please. Looks like I'm gonna have to kill confirm with the fighter bomber. Would have liked to hit the strategic bomber, but that's not a choice this turn. Although my strategic bomber is available to strategic bomb. We'll hit you. that shot. We split you in half. So we don't want to do too much damage, because we actually want to capture the guy mostly intact. You intact. You're not suppressed yet enough to take. Well, that may... Arguably, that's a temporary problem, right? We've got you encircled. Yeah, I'm not really in a position to take you. Do I take the swing at the... Yeah, let's take the swing at the M4. Go. Caught one of those. Start working the other one. And yeah, we just got Austin, Houston. We don't need to take the airfields, although if we could take the airfields, that would probably be nice. Okay. Allied turn. And yeah, I definitely needed to make this a three-parter. The American capacity for airplanes and tanks. That's a interesting move choice. Come, got you to surrender. Push you there, push you there. This is mainly sort of to encircle Houston. Nah, it's not worth... can I scoot you up and get in a shot with you? The G. Yeah, let's roll up the G. Got you to surrender, that's nice. Okay, we're gonna shoot this plane up. It's not gonna do much damage because this is the rapid fire one. This only affects. It's only effective against lower altitude. Which is a bit of a shame. Got you suppressed. So I'll move with you. That's a -1. Let's not take that. Take the -6. Oh, that's a Sherman AA. Interesting. Weren't very many of those during the war. I think there's only one American plane left, so... it's delivered a beating. Or they've delivered a beating, but the beating is finally over. Okay. Now, it's the American turn. I think we're going to take Austin and Houston the next turn or two. See how many of the remaining American forces we can ideally capture mostly intact for their prestige value. Split you in half, because I only need to do like 1 damage. There we go. Need to do more against you, of course. 2 is probably not enough. Take it. Yeah, 2 wasn't enough. Should have probably hit with the artillery first then. Two will be enough now. There we go. So you have distraction. Oh, that's unyielding. One of the other ones had distraction. Forget which vehicle I put the distraction on. Sure, it's probably one of the ones that got blown up. That probably explains why I can't remember which one it is. I'm not gonna try to figure out which one it was. So I haven't suppressed you enough. Take the one, because that should surrender you. Did. Let's take the swing versus the strong point, get rid of it. Okay, take the airfield for the prestige. Okay, so I need to de-entrench you, so we need to wait at least one turn. Yeah, between the suppression and the de-entrenching, you should be good to surrender. Same with the Jackson here. American turn. See some. Oh, I forgot about the AA up, the artillery up. Anti-tank. The anti-tank up top. Yeah, I thought about it, we might have been able to capture it intact. Too late now. Okay, either way we're going to destroy you, so let's just get it over with. Got 2 suppression left. So as long as I do... Yeah, I'll bring the both up so that we're more likely to succeed. Here we go. And then we take the Austin, ending the map early. A 10-turn bonus providing us a decent amount of prestige. Getting 55% bonus for finishing 10 turns early. Which should allow us to replace our missing units, repair missing units, that sort of stuff. And that is across the Mississippi. Now for the briefing on the final mission, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the last mission.
Herr General, you and I have been through a lot in the campaigns of the last few years. And yet, never before have we been this close to total victory while precariously dangling over the cliff of utter defeat. For you see, Wehr has completed their work, piecing together what the Americans have been up to, and the revelations are astounding. They almost have an atomic bomb. With this new weapon, all of our work could potentially be undone in a flash of atomic energy. Therefore, you must complete your campaign against the United States as quickly as possible, or we would surely face the wrath of their new weapons.
Pacific and reach.
Still need you to occupy various state capitals across the region, but be sure to prioritize targets in New Mexico here. It is clear the Americans are tooling up for a major counter-offensive across the Great Plains, but to entrench and wait for them would only complete their objective to buy time. Meet the American armored assault head-on, and break through it with your superior panzers and new wonder weapons. After that, you will face a trio of natural obstacles you must overcome. Don't let the Rocky Mountains stall your assault. Focus a breakthrough at these passes. The rough terrain of the Nevada and Arizona deserts are equally not to be underestimated. And finally, The Sierra Nevada mountains stand between you and the cities of the West Coast. Again, focus breakthroughs on passes such as this one. Whatever happens here, it has been an honor to serve with you. Dismissed.
So that's the mission briefing for the Pacific in Reach. I believe this is the final mission. Our final hero we're picking up here is Gustav Weber and his counter-battery fire. So we can assign counter-battery fire to one artillery, or this is technically any unit of our choice, but it presumably wants a range attack. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to counter-battery very well. So yeah, we got to go from the cities we just took over. Austin, Dallas, Oklahoma, Wichita, and... okay, I suppose the city was a little bit off the map here. We got to plunge through Denver, Santa Fe, El Paso, Phoenix, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, San Diego, Los Angeles, San Jose, and San Francisco. And Sacramento, even though it's the state capital, apparently is not important enough to be considered a critical victory objective. But we got to hold our 3 original ones, and we must take 10 of the victory objectives to win, effectively reaching the Pacific. So let's see what new toys we get for this one. We get the Volkssturm and the Volksgrenadier. As the game recognized... well, if we were playing real history, this is about the point in the war where the Axis are starting to run a little threadbare on troops. So the Volksgrenadier here... how do these compare against the German infantry? So they gain better anti-tank, have better close defense, a little bit worse armor in the open, and the Volkssturm are just worse, except anti-tank. They're decent anti-tank, and they'd probably do decent in like garrison positions, defending locations. But yeah, definitely starting to reach the point where the game, if you're going historical, you're running low on infantry. You're getting what you're getting, and you're just going to have to roll with it. Tank-wise, we pick up the Panther II and the Mouse. Mouse historically was never truly completed. I think some reports say one improvised one went into battle for a very short time against the Russians. The one the Russians have is actually made out of 2. But yeah, the Mouse never actually saw any real combat. That is technically an upgrade over the Tiger II in-game. Plus 1 core slot, so it's more expensive. And in many ways is a little better, although it's a little worse in close terrain, and that is where we be this map. And then we also got the Panther IV, or the Panther II, which is the Panzer IV, or Panzer VI. Sorry. Or Panther II, which is, I think, just the upgrade on the Panther, right? It's the refit of the Panther. I wouldn't bother upgrading the Panther G to the Panther II. It's another core slot. The improvements aren't that much. A little bit more tempting to go Mouse, although the big thing that would hit us if we went Mouse is that movement range. Drop into 3 is not doing that. We do have the E75, which I think technically the E75... well, it's the streamlining version of the Tiger II, right? So, a little bit better anti-tank, and again, probably not one we're going to go with. But definitely not at that price. It's not enough of an improvement at that price. Yeah, not enough improvement at that price. Armored car. We do have an upgrade to the armored car. Goes all in on the anti-tank at this point, which I don't think we're that desperate with the armored car to kill tanks. So we're not going to bother that. Jagdpanzer and the 128 millimeter Pak 44. So this is when you want a vehicle destroyed. In this game, I think it's got a bigger caliber in theory than the Jagdtiger. The Jagdtiger apparently is just treated. Well, it's got better armor and stuff. We probably wouldn't run this. We'd be tempted to do like the Jagdtiger if we really were looking for that pen. Or just stick to Tigers. AA. We now got the 88 millimeter flak on a mobile chassis, so there's maybe an argument to do that upgrade. Right, it's not that much of a cost increase. Gives us better ground defense, so if our 88 does get caught out, it's less likely to get torn to shreds. I'll be thinking about that. That makes sense. Although I suppose it won't be much of an upgrade, it'll be a replacement in most cases. We got the grill, 17. Shrek. So is that like the 21 centimeter? It's even smaller than the 21 centimeter. That's like the 17 centimeter, isn't it? Yeah, so it'd be a little bit of a gun size down. But that might be worth it to make it more armored and self-propelled. We'll think about that. Taking the 0 slots. Again, it's a 500 to 650, so it's 150 more. But to just get that armored chassis for the firing position of the 17 centimeters. Losing the anti-tank would be a little annoying, but it's not a big one, right? Because we're going from that gun to this gun, right? So not a big drop. It's a 5-point drop. That's surprisingly large. Planes. We got new planes. We got presumably the upgrade to the Focke-Wulf. Mostly air defense, so our planes would hold up better, not necessarily be better at killing. Or we gotta really pay the slot price to go up the Volksjäger anti-air. Well, that trades range. We're gonna need range on this mission. Or we can go to the Flying Wing. Might arguably do the Flying Wing. It's not that much more expensive. Oh, actually, right now we got these guys, don't we? Right, so that's an upgrade not worth doing. That might be worth doing. It's 5 more anti-air, 7 more air defense. 9 more anti-air, 5 more air defense. Yeah, if we're really desperate for just bringing the American planes down, this is probably where we need to go. The Flying Wing, which is a bit of a wonder weapon. Didn't really see much use. We got the Ardo AR Blitz, which in comparison to the G is probably not. Yeah, not much of an upgrade. We probably wouldn't bother. We'd probably just keep this. We're not going to bother doing the upgrade for that one. And then we got the America Bomber, which definitely Wunderwaffle. I suppose the thing that's got is range, right? That's the biggest range bomber that we've got without going the strategic bomber that we're getting shot up by the American airplanes. But yeah, so that's what you've got to see in the next part. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll do the deployment phase for Pacific in Reach in the next one. I suspect this is going to be a 3-parter. It'll probably be getting to Sierra Nevadas? I forget which one's which. And I should know which one's which. I'm from California. I grew up in California. Make the run out to Nevada, El Paso line. That'll probably be the first part. The second part will probably be breaking through to Las Vegas and taking over this area. And the third part, forcing our way into California proper. Probably from deployment standpoint, we're going to pull... One of the ways we're going to save resources is we're probably going to pull in our mountain troops. In fact, I'm so sure we're going to bring the mountain troops, and we'll just pull them in right now. Bring in all 4 mountain troops. And then as we lose planes, I'll probably just yoink planes out of the reserve instead of building new ones. I suppose one question is, do we bring the Fallschirmjäger? Yeah, we could probably do the Fallschirmjäger, just drop them in the mountains. What's our tanks? Yeah, we probably want to replace a tank. Probably want to replace an anti-tank. Oops. It's not actually what I want to do. Can't see the heroes if I'm trying to assign heroes to units that are full. So we got a 0 slot we're going to replace. Yeah, so we're going to have an interesting time trying to figure out how we're going to do this. We got a decent amount of prestige, so we should be able to get a full deployment here. The question is, how much do we have for reinforcements to do the mission here? We might be having our units run threadbare as we run headlong to California. Watching on YouTube, that will be tomorrow. For watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. This is going to be the midstream tea break. I'm going to try to go all of Pacific in Reach on the next cup of tea. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.